Welcome back, everybody. Star Wars is finally back in the item shop. Not just the new stuff we got a week ago, but all the old collaborations came out. So we're going to take a look at everything in this gigantic item shop that happened technically yesterday. Now this is going to be a really long video. I apologize for how long it's going to be. I'm going to figure out how to make these types of videos a little bit shorter in the future. Alright, and we're going to do something a little bit different here. I'm just going to record all of it on the fly instead of doing a really long hour, 2-hour editing process. So we're just going to go through the item shop and look at all this stuff because there's way too much for us to go into detail on. So starting with the sequel stuff up on the top, we've got Kylo Ren. His mask is all broken up because of this being from episode 9, and he's got two versions of his cloak. If you look here, you can't really see it on the model because I don't have him, but there is a regular version of it, and there is a hood up version when you're playing as Kylo. Then we've got the Vibro Scythe here. This is actually from Star Wars as a harvesting tool. One of the Knights of Ren used this in the movies, and the comics and all the other material. Then we got Darkseid, which is basically just a force choke, maneuver, stance, whatever you want to call it. And we'll just go to the separate stuff instead of looking at the bundles. We got the Sith Trooper, that red, crazy looking stormtrooper from the Battle of Exegol in episode 9 with their special blaster. I think this is called the ST-W48 as their back bling. We got everybody's favorite Mary Sue, Rey Skywalker. Once again, all the sequel characters are in their episode 9 gear, and we got a little holographic back bling showing the Jedi Order. I'm not really sure how super appropriate this is for her, but you know, it's whatever. Then we got her quarterstaff, probably my favorite harvesting tool from the Star Wars franchise. It's just her quarterstaff, and technically this did get turned into a lightsaber at the end of Rise of Skywalker, but it's not a lightsaber here. Then we got Finn in his, once again, episode 9 gear. You can tell because of the stripes on the jacket right in front of his left shoulder. This is different from the one he got from Poe in The Force Awakens, and his holographic back bling is the Resistance emblem. And his harvesting tool is a little bit unique. You got the riot control baton that the Stormtroopers and Finn uses in episode 8, The Last Jedi. This is kind of tied with the traitor emote. As you can see here, when you use it, the character arms himself with the pickaxe, and you know, since I don't own the pickaxe, it's kind of just a little silhouette. If I owned it, it would be the actual model. And we have the goofy little Resistance thumbs up thing Finn did with BB-8. And we're almost done with the sequel trilogy, so technically the Imperial Stormtrooper released with this stuff, even though it's an original trilogy character. This is just a regular Stormtrooper, no fancy styles or anything, just them as they were in the original movies. Then we have Zori Bliss, no styles or anything, just her in her regular costume, no visor off option or anything, just, you know, Zori Bliss. And then we got 3 really cool looking gliders in the form of starships. You hang from all of these. So we got the First Order version of the TIE Fighter. We've got the standardized Y-Wing, which I think the design of this is the same between the original trilogy and the sequels. And we have my favorite one, the Vanguard Squadron X-Wing. It's not red, it doesn't have a style for being red, which kind of sucks, but you know, it's still an X-Wing and it looks cool. And then we get to the second collab, which is the Book of Boba Fett. You know, that TV show that went on Disney Plus that a lot of people were disappointed with because Boba Fett was always kind of like a villainous character in Star Wars, and they turned him into something else. But anyways, we have stuff for Boba Fett himself. He's in his costume from the TV show, not from The Empire Strikes Back, as you can see with the little skirt cape going on down here, instead of the cape that he has on his shoulder in the original trilogy. He comes with his jetpack as a back bling and a little targeting computer emote, which this is a neat little touch. And he is apparently also reactive. I didn't notice it when I was using him earlier this morning, but apparently the targeting computer goes online when you aim down the sights of a weapon, kind of like what the Doomslayer does. And then we've got a really great glider of Slave 1. Oh, I'm sorry. Disney doesn't want us to call it Slave 1 anymore. We've got a great glider of Boba Fett's starship. Yeah, a little bit of a FYI thing. When this show came out, Disney kind of quietly changed the name of this starship. All of the Lego sets were the first ones to do it, but Lego sets, this game, and a bunch of other media all call it Boba Fett Starship now. They don't call it Slave One like it was originally. But it's a really bulky but really cool looking glider. We got the gaffy stick, which is something that Boba Fett used in the earlier episodes of the TV show, so, you know, it's okay. It looks like a gaffy stick that the Sand People use. And then we also got Fennec Shand, Chrysanthemum, and a few other things. So Fennec, no styles, just her in her armor with the helmet on. And we get a holographic back bling for the Mythosaur, which is kind of weird for Fennec Shand. Mythosaur is really big with the Mandalorians, so it's kind of odd to have her get it, even though technically she was in The Mandalorian Season 2. Then we have Black Chrysanthemum in his normal armor, and we get a back bling for the Hutt clan, which kind of makes sense because that's who hired him in the Book of Boba Fett. We got Fennec's ship, which is a little bit bulky, especially in the back, but it looks pretty cool. You also hang from that, and we have a Mandalorian emote. So just listening to Mando say, "This is the way." Then we get to the third collab, which is for the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. So we have Obi-Wan, one style like almost all of these, with his hood down. We've got a back bling showing his little backpack of gear. If you notice on the right, his lightsaber's right there, and a few other things that show up in the show. And his harvesting tool is the butcher knife that he uses in the first episode when he's cutting meat. It's fine. It's fine. They're never going to give us lightsabers. It's fine. Then we got the Jedi Interceptor glider, which is great. It's just like the one we got for Anakin last week, except, you know, color change. Red instead of yellow, and R4 in the astromech seat instead of R2. And then we have a holographic message for Obi-Wan, where basically he just pops up and says, "May the Force be with you," and that's about it. And then we get to the final and probably most in-depth collab they've done for Star Wars. The original trilogy characters got a lot of stuff. So like if you look here, they all got like different styles. Like Luke has his Episode 4 gear, the black robes from Return of the Jedi, and the hooded version from Return of the Jedi when he goes to Jabba's palace. And he comes with the training remote that he uses in Episode 4 as a back bling. Han Solo, he's got his basically the same thing. Episode 4 attire, trench coat from Return of the Jedi, and then his general outfit from Return of the Jedi, which is basically exactly the same as his Episode 4, except the pants are brown instead of black. Or blue. Yeah, see blue? And yeah, even the shirt's the same color. It's literally the same thing, except he put on brown pants. But it's fine. Then we get to Leia Organa. Oh, wait. Oh, I'm sorry. So he comes with the Millennium Falcon as a back bling. With the, you know, you see the little dice on there that Luke gave to Leia in The Last Jedi. Which I think this is a huge missed opportunity. I would have loved to have a gigantic, really clunky looking Millennium Falcon as a hanging glider. People would see you from a mile away, but still, it would have been cool. Then we get Leia Organa. She's a little unique here, so you got her costumes from Episode 4, and then two versions of her Return of the Jedi bounty hunter outfit, one without a cape and one with a cape. And the unique thing here is that all of her styles can take the headgear off. So I can say, I don't want the headgear on here, so I can see the big cinnamon buns on the side of her head, and then just her face with the costume on. Looks pretty cool, and she gets R2-D2 as her back bling, which I guess like they put R2 with her instead of Luke just because of the whole she's introduced with R2 at the beginning of the first movie. And then we get to the harvesting tools and the emotes. So Luke's harvesting tool is a slug thrower rifle. Have you ever seen him use these in the movies? It's because he didn't. He used this in the comics, which is even more confusing because technically the comics refer to this as a hunting rifle, and then later on they said, oh yeah, that's the slug thrower rifle, FYI. So they kind of just retconned this pickaxe into being something he used. Then we get the Electro Staff, which is a bounty hunter weapon for Princess Leia. And the Vibro Staff for Han Solo, because technically he did use this during Return of the Jedi. The glider that we got, the only one from the original trilogy, is the Land Speeder from Episode 4, which I think it looks fine. I would have liked a red X-Wing, but, you know, it's fine. And then we have the little speeder bike emote, where you can just ride around on the little speeder that Luke and Leia use on Endor in Return of the Jedi. And that's it. All the rest of the stuff is, you know, this stuff that we got new just last week. But that's a lot of stuff. And oh my gosh, I talked for 10 minutes. I am so sorry about that. And that's all I've got for you today. Sorry about the really long video, but I hope you Star Wars fans are enjoying all of this stuff that came back to the item shop. And don't forget, we're supposed to be getting a couple more with similar nicknames to what was given to the Darth Maul skin. I'm personally hoping for General Grievous, but it's probably gonna be Dooku and Sidious. Anyways, we've got tons more coming down the pipeline, so enjoy this Star Wars event, and as always, thank you for watching, and have a great day.